Hi everyone, it's Sarah, the host of Unmuzzled. If you're watching this on video and you see that new countdown they put on StreamYard, which is the server that I use to do these, it's totally the opposite of the way the music used to be, which was like really upbeat. And so I don't know, it gives me a weird vibe now. So if you're listening to the podcast, you have no idea what I'm talking about. You should go watch the video. And you should watch the video today because we're talking about a brand new sanctuary. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsors. Yucca Fence is a family-owned, trusted provider of high-quality fencing solutions with over 57 years of experience. They take pride in protecting what you love the most and give back to rescues, shelters, and humane societies through their partnerships. They give you a free, no-obligation estimate and use the highest quality materials. For transparency and peace of mind, visit Yucca Fence for all your fencing needs. Canine Cruise is the place to take your pet. They offer dog and cat boarding, dog daycare, pet retail, and mindful day school. Tons of indoor space with a huge yard. Canine Cruise is your one-stop shop for professional pet care in Chicago. Kiki's Corner Natural Pet Foods in downtown Winfield, just a block south of CDH Hospital and the railroad tracks. Kiki's has all your food and health aid needs for dogs and cats. Kiki's Corner for a healthy, happy pet. Sniffing out a new vet? Bond Vet is a new breed of vet care that offers everything from primary care to walk-in urgent care visits. And right now, they've got a special treat for our listeners. You can use code UNMUZZLED to get $50 off your pet's first visit by booking at bondvet.com. That's code UNMUZZLED at BONDVET.com for $50 off. Thank you, presenting sponsors. Please, everybody, support all of our sponsors. They're small businesses trying to do good in the world, and they give back, which is so important. And that's why I partner with them, is because they know me, I know them, I support them, and I really appreciate the sponsorship. Without further ado, sorry, I hit the wrong button. David is here from the brand new, and it's not even open yet. So before all the rescues watch this and listen to this, don't come flooding David's email, but Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. Hello, David.
Hi, Sarah. Yep. David Kerpel here. This is very exciting, being on your podcast. So thank you for the invite.
Yes. So, I mean, here's the thing, and this is so true about people in rescue, is I think we all at some point in our lives say, I want to open a sanctuary. And I mean, it goes across the board. And then usually, you wind up having a foundation for animals with cancer or having a normal rescue. But this is something that is so needed, especially right now. If you have listened to this podcast, if you're looking at the news in Chicagoland and beyond, there's a shelter crisis. There's animals, hundreds of animals being put to sleep a week just in Chicago. But David, this story of how this all came to be is pretty remarkable. You were once an attorney. So how did you get here to opening a dog sanctuary?
So actually, I'm still an attorney. I still have to do that part of the job a little bit, but my true passion is absolutely rescuing dogs. I've loved animals my whole life, and probably about 15 years ago, I realized, hey, this is what I want to do when I grow up and retire, when I'm usually like in my 60s or something. I want to rescue as many dogs as I can in my life. And so, as most people know, life changes, things happen. And so in 2022, January of 2022, I decided that I'm actually not going to wait until I retire. I'm going to seize the moment. Life is short. So I incorporated Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. I recruited a board of directors, people who are not just dog rescuers or that like dogs, but that are truly passionate about making a difference and helping the overpopulation of these dogs that really need our help. And so I wanted to be a little different. So I came up with a different model. We're kind of like a hybrid between a shelter and a rescue and a sanctuary. So a lot of people ask, first of all, what you say about people wanting to do what I'm doing. I hear a lot of people when I tell them what I'm doing, they say, you're living my dream. And I always say, you can be part of it. Join a committee. We have lots of committees and ways to help. And and they're very excited. And then, so that's how we've gotten a lot of people on board. But so I incorporated, I'm a 501c3, Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. I got that in 2022. The hardest part was finding land, because a sanctuary, I wanted a physical space. And so it's very hard to do in the Midwest. I'm here in Illinois, and I looked into all of my surrounding counties, and they make it really hard to build a facility and have land that can handle, basically rehabilitating dogs on site. And so fortunately, McHenry County was very open to it, because they have a specific provision in their zoning that allows for animal care shelters. And I fit that mold. And so what we do, our mission is to rescue the dogs that are in shelters or are going to be euthanized around the country. And we're going to pull them out of the shelters. We're going to work with them with pet trainers, with dog behaviorists on site. It's 6 acres of beautiful land, agricultural land. And we are going to try to get them adopted or fostered to homes. And until they do, they get to spend each and every day at Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. And I see these slides that you are showing of the property. So we have an existing 19,000 square foot horse barn. And so we are going to be transforming this into a state-of-the-art facility that will house the dogs that we rescue. So basically, I'm going to send you a video in the next few weeks, and it will be publicized then. But we have a 3D rendering that basically shows this place like I'd want to stay overnight there. It's going to be like, a dreamland paradise for the dogs. They're going to have 8x10 rooms inside, 8x10 rooms outside. We're going to have probably max will be 21 dogs at one time, which means we're really stressing quality rather than quantity. So any dog that we decide to rescue, they will have the best life. They will have as much exercise, as much social interaction with humans, with dogs, if allowable, based on their behavior. And they will have mental and physical stimulation, and they will actually tell the staff or volunteers when they're ready to come in from playing outside and having so much fun, instead of like, yeah, here's your 15 minutes or 20 minutes, check it off the list. Because it's really hard to do that when some of these shelters, they have like hundreds of dogs, and it's really hard. It's so hard for these dogs to get the exercise they need, the interactions they need. And unfortunately, because of the surroundings, a lot of these dogs that people don't adopt from shelters because of their breed or their age or certain behaviors, some of it is actually caused by the surrounding. It's a 4x6 cage that they're in 24 hours a day, minus 15 to 30 minutes maybe. And so a lot of these dogs can be wonderful dogs in people's homes. And so that's our mission, that's our vision, and we're making it happen.
Yeah, I love, because I think sometimes people think sanctuary is like an endpoint, like you're really a liaison between shelter and adopter, which is brilliant. I mean, it's really what's needed for these dogs that are getting euthanized for behavior or, sometimes medical, which, so I guess my question too is, so are you pulling the animals directly from the animal controls, or is there a rescue in between there?
So we are definitely not doing owner surrenders. And ever since I opened this like 3 years ago, I didn't open it, I created it. I've been getting emails probably at the beginning, it was like once every few months. Now it's like 3 a week, asking us to take in dogs from owners. Number one, we're not up yet. But number two, we're going to be taking the dogs from like municipalities, like you said, for, like Chicago Animal Care and Control, or in Waukegan or McHenry County. And so that'll allow us to get a little bit of background on what types of dogs they are, and whether they're able to be rehabilitated. Because we want to, we're gonna concentrate our resources on the dogs that can and that can be, taken, adopted, or fostered. And so that will free up us to basically, it'll be like a turnstile. We'll just be, we'll take the dogs from, a shelter, we'll rehabilitate and work with them, and then we'll find them homes, and we'll just be keeping doing that forever and ever. So we'll be able to rescue hundreds of dogs.
I love that. I also love the quality over the quantity. I think that's so important. You have the right mindset to not take this huge barn and shove as many dogs as you can in it. Instead, you work with the ones that you have and make sure you set them up for success. So when I envision, and I can't wait to see the 3D model of the barn, when I envision the rooms inside here, I see a nice big leather couch, a chair. These dogs are going to just be wined and dined. But no, when you're building this, you really have to figure out how to, and I'm not like get the most bang for your buck, like make the best use of the space that you can. So I know, how tough it's so easy to get a 501c3. I hate to say that because it's not, but it is. Like you get a piece of paper, you're like, okay, we're legal now and we can take donations. But the work that goes in after you get that official piece of paper is insane. And if people only knew, I mean, you're now in almost year 3. That part of it, trying to figure out what to do with this. I assume you've had a lot of help, but that's tough and probably keeps you up at night.
Well, unfortunately, people have been so receptive to our mission, both out in Richmond, Illinois, which is where the property is, and also locally where I live in Deerfield. People have been so supportive of giving their knowledge, giving their information about, how to run. Some of the people on our board and our committees, they have experience running nonprofit dog rescues, animal rescues. And so that really helps. But I've just talked to hundreds of people across the country, and they've just been so helpful of what to look for. I mean, we're going into detail about the type of flooring to use, not just concrete, but we want a little layer of padding so the dogs don't hurt themselves when they're running. We're looking into paint colors that will be pleasing to the dogs. I mean, there's tons of research out there looking into music. All these things are very important to make dogs' quality of life optimal.
Yeah, so important. I mean, I just not too long ago had a podcast with a holistic vet who made her whole office purple because she found out animals love and they can't even see color, but that shade of purple. And the whole podcast, there was purple everywhere behind her. But that kind of research is like setting you up for success, which I love.
I like purple. Sarah, I like purple.
You do? Okay. So
yeah. So that'll work out for me too, if that's true.
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, it's just brilliant. And I can't wait to see how this goes. But for you, even, I was looking at your website or your Facebook page about getting out in the community. And the biggest thing, and this happens with Live Like Root, we don't get grants because usually for grants, we're competing with rescues. We're competing with medical foundations, even though we are cancer. It's just, we never get the grants we want. And if we did not have our monthly donors, are the people that donate on Facebook, people that come to our events, and I see you just out in the community. You did a bingo recently. When you see these people that believe already, and that makes me cry, but believe in what you do already, how proud are you that you took this moment that you had at Sarah Sanctuary, which we didn't even bring up yet, in 2021, and saw what they were doing, and now have launched this. It's taking a while, and seeing already the embrace you get from the community around you.
It feels great. I mean, it really does. And obviously I would, my wife has emphasized that I need to have patience in the process. It's very difficult for me having to rely on all the professionals involved, the architects, the engineers, the county. It's very hard for me because I want things done, right? I want things done right away so that we can start saving dogs. And so that's probably been the hardest thing for me. Asking for money, as my family members can attest, I have no shame. I guess I kind of have to be in that position if I'm going to have a nonprofit. So people have been, again, very supportive. We're actually going to start a capital campaign very shortly with naming rights to the sanctuary, because we're getting close to actually starting construction. But yeah, it's really something special, and it gives me a lot of joy, and I just can't wait. And for people listening, they should know that, number one, we're 100% volunteer. Number two, every dollar that is donated goes directly to the sanctuary. And I am extremely careful about how we spend the money that we've raised. In fact, the 3D design, the rendering, would normally cost probably around $7,000. But I found someone out of the country. There's this site that handles all of these graphic designers from all over the world. And so for a tenth of the price, you're going to see what this is. And it's just incredible. And so we're just, that's the way I run my business anyway, my law practice. I'm very careful about what expenses, the overhead. It's the same thing. I remember someone saying at the beginning, you have to treat this like a business. And so it's true. Yeah, you do.
I know that website well, by the way. It is remarkable what you can get made quickly, usually too. Yeah, the toughest lesson that I learned, because you're the same as me, you have this passion and you have this dream. And for 2 or 3 years, I did not run it like a business. I ran it like a passion project, and I almost ran it into the ground, to be honest with you. I think like your background as an attorney helps a little bit, but once I figured out that I need an accountant, I need, help with care packages, I need a medical director. I don't have a clue about all of this cancer stuff. Obviously, I knew from my experience, but until you run it like a business, you probably are going to fail. And it's a really hard lesson to learn, because all you want to do is go and save all the dogs you can and pay everybody's bills. But it's impossible until you run it like a business. And it's really, really hard, especially for people in the nonprofit sector, to realize that, especially in the beginning, because you really just want to focus on your mission, and it's impossible, honestly. So I'm glad you said that, because it's the first thing I tell people. That a lot of people ask me always for advice about how starting a nonprofit and how to do it. And I give them all of this stuff, the paperwork you have to do, which I say that's the easy part, even though it costs some money. But when you're in it, it's not easy. And when you have a full-time job like you do, and like I had at NBC Sports, like, it is really, really hard, because when you have 2 really hard jobs, including running a nonprofit, it really can weigh on you. And it is, these things that we do are emotional. So kudos to you. Yeah. So your wife is a big part of this. I know she's on your board. How is that? Does she kind of keep you in check?
Absolutely. That's not isolated to Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. That goes beyond. But yes, she keeps me in check. She keeps my expectations in check. It's very easy to get frustrated, because you expect, you don't expect, but you hope that everyone you work with, or all these volunteers, have the same heart and the same passion as you do. But obviously, they can't prioritize it at the top of their life every minute of every day like we do, right? And so, that took a little getting used to. But, I'm fine wearing a lot of hats, but I also have a lot of volunteers that are just doing a great job spreading the word on social media, helping at events. We actually have someone who's our outreach director, who has a therapy dog that she brings it to events, and they're a big hit, and it's great. And we're actually going to go to a senior center, I think, in a couple weeks to talk about, what we're doing and things like that. And, dogs and senior centers, people love, they love it. So it's been great, and it just makes me really happy. And the dogs, I mean, it's like, it's not work, right? You know this. I mean, the dogs are just so appreciative of people. And so to not want to help them, it's just, you just feel the love from them, and you want to give them love, and they give so much in return.
Yeah.
They give you so much support, and it's just great, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's like you're in my brain because you're like, nobody will ever love your foundation or your sanctuary as much as you. It is so true. But like volunteers make this foundation. If I didn't have the volunteers, I would be screwed. And same with my board and my staff. But the volunteers that show up to events, help us sell raffle tickets, help us sell merch. And that's why, I really embrace our volunteers. I make sure that they know how important they are. Of course, they're never going to love it as much as I do, but when you tell them how thankful you are, and they've said this to me, which is meaningful, like you appreciate us, Sarah. So that's why we keep coming back. Like that's so true. And when you're running, we pay our staff, but we no longer are volunteer run solely. That changed as we evolved. But when you are, it is just, you have to embrace those people that support you. So I love that that's in your head, that that nobody will ever love this as much as you, but the people that you surround yourself with and embrace for your mission, it's so key to your success. I love that. Okay, so I'm not trying to rush you, but like, what is the timeline? When can I come tour this massive barn?
So anybody can come to meet me and see the before and after. And once construction starts, they can see the during. And I love it up there because it's so peaceful and so pretty. And it's just so tranquil. And it's so nice being up there. I love being up there. And so in the warmer months, I go up there. Sometimes I'll ride the lawnmower, which was a first for me. I'd never done that. All these things, like from lawyer to landscaper, right? So I'm mowing the lawn. I got to drive a tractor. I welded fencing. We have fencing up there so that if you bring a dog or a couple dogs, you guys can come up and it's all enclosed. It's like 6'4". I know there are certain dogs that can jump that, but that's as tall as we went. And so that's what I've been doing to kind of introduce people to, what's there now. And so until we've had the rendering, it's just been me describing what it's going to be. But now you'll actually be able to see what it's going to be. And it's just cool getting up there and bringing your dog and hanging out. It's about 45 minutes from like the Deerfield area. I'm not sure if from the city, it's a little longer. It's about 2 miles south of the border between Illinois and Wisconsin. So you can absolutely reach out and you can meet me. I'll meet you up there. And it's fun because I get to meet your dogs. And even if you don't have a dog, but you like the mission, I'll meet you up there. And it's just nice. We have a walking path, so you can walk around the entire property. And yeah, it's great.
I love it. So there's the website, everybody. You can go knock on David's door. Make sure that you have a time. So the obvious question is, are you going to quit your work as an attorney once this is all open, or do you keep going?
So I will keep going. Probably right now it's about 40-60. I'm a divorce attorney, so it's 40 divorce, 60 dogs, right? And so eventually I'd love it to be 25-75. But I'll always, be an attorney in practice. But right now is when all the time is needed for, the construction and going on site and things like that. But fortunately with Zoom, even as an attorney, I've done, I've been in court and I've been up there on my, we didn't have any chairs. So I sat on the lawnmower while I did my court appearance. So it works. Nobody knows. That's fine. But yeah, foreverhomedogssanctuary.org is the website. If you want to follow us on social media, Instagram or Facebook, it's FHDS dogs, FHDS dogs, no space in between. And if you want to sign up for our newsletter, you can do that as well and get updates. We try to send out emails probably like once a month. We don't bombard you guys. We have events every once in a while, and that's that. Yeah, we had a nice bingo event, which was really fun. That was in Wheeling. Then we had a Highland Park event at a bar at Norton's. That was great, and you really meet wonderful people, and so it's really nice to see their faces and just say, I love what you're doing. I said, I love it too. I'm living. When people say, some of my friends, I say, how you doing? And they're like, oh, living the dream. They're sarcastic, but I'm actually living my dream, which is awesome.
Yeah, and you'll be at Pet Fest. So for those of you listening, I'll have more on this soon, but we're doing a huge Pet Fest in June at Huffman Estates at Hideaway Brew Garden, 75 pet-centric vendors, adoptable dogs. We have a caricature artist. We'll have raffles where everybody wins. So you can meet David there too. He'll have a booth, which is awesome. So David, my hope for you is that you get this, like some huge amount of money from a divorce settlement of somebody famous. I hate to wish that upon somebody. And then you can say, okay, I'm just, we're good. And I'm going to run this sanctuary full time. So that's my hope for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, David. I really appreciate you. I'm so excited to see how this all turns out. I know it's going to be wonderful. There's such a need for it. And I know you're going to get amazing dogs that go from Waukegan to some huge mansion somewhere, Highland Park, and live the life. And you'll have that before and after picture that will say, we did this. And you can say, we did it together with our donors, with our volunteers, with our supporters. So awesome work, awesome idea by you. And I know so many people are jealous because this is a lot of people's dreams. So great job.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And anyone who wants to be a part of it, just reach out to me, and I'd love you to help out.
Awesome. David, everybody, thank you so much. Have a good night. Furever Home Dog Sanctuary, brand new. So you can get in early, check it out, see this progress they've made. He gave me a ring, saw Pet Fest information, and the rest is history. Supporting sponsors, thank you. Thank you so much to our supporting sponsors. On the corner of Montrose and Troy in Chicago's Irving Park neighborhood, you'll find a hidden gem known as Temple Stowe Pub. They have a great selection of local draft beers, and the Malort is always flowing. Oh boy. Join us for charity bingo nights or tap takeovers with local breweries. Don't want to leave your dog at home? Bring them with you. Whether you're throwing darts or playing a banger on the jukebox, you're guaranteed to have an awesome time. Head on over to 3135 West Montrose and look for the old style sign. The Canine PT is Chicago's highest rated dog physical therapy clinic, and they're dedicated to enhancing the lives of your four-legged companions as they age or while recovering from an injury. There is no better gift than pain relief and extended mobility for your furry friends. They also offer a discount for rescue dogs. For more information, visit thecaninepT.com. Intuitive animal behavior dog training, positive reinforcement, force-free and fear-free training solutions for every single dog. Jenna offers individual training, behavioral boarding, shelter support, and positive reinforcement board and train services. Creating an environment that is happy and healthy for your pets is so important. For more information, go to her website, intuitiveanimalbehavior.com. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you so much to everybody for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you, David from Furever Home Dog Sanctuary. Cannot wait to see where he goes. It's going to be magical.